All right. So, hey everyone, very good morning. Give me a moment. All right. So, I think we are live in YouTube and also in Discord. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. So, before I proceed, can you give me a quick confirmation on can all of you see my screen and hear my voice clearly? Is everything clear? Can you quickly confirm that using the chat option in Discord? It is available at right top corner. You can access that at the right top corner, and YouTube, we can use the live chat to interact with me. Good morning, Markandeya. Thank you for the confirmation. So before I begin, I just want to I just want to know how many of you are already aware about order flow and footprint charts. How many of you are like already using these particular tools? So I'll quickly get into the session, but before that, thank you, Tom. All right. Cool. So we have like different sections for this particular session. So I'll be discussing about the initial context of the market in the first place, and after that we will be diving deep into the concepts of Bookmap. So we're going to explore the different tools that are offered by Bookmap for Indian market. All right. So this is a session powered by TrueData, and we are going to do the live analysis on Nifty and Bank Nifty. Before I proceed, a quick disclaimer: any information that I'm going to share from now onwards are for educational purpose only, not for buy or sell recommendation. So please consider it as a research and educational concept. Every single decision that you take in trading are subject to market risk. So let's quickly get into the subject. So just give me a moment. All right. So this is a Nifty continuation chart, Nifty futures continuation chart, a 30-minute chart. Yeah, just a moment. All right. Cool. So before we jump into the concepts of order flows or footprint charts, we go by a process. So basically a context, right? Context as in like where the market is presently heading, all right, and how the overall market is presently behaving on today's market, because it's a very short-term trading for an intraday. So obviously it makes sense for us to look at the context in the very short term. So that's why we are using a 30-minute chart to define the trend. And most importantly, what are all the locations where we can monitor the price action, and especially the overall price details in a specific locations. And at the final stage, we have an entry and exit stage. All right. So I basically call it as TLE framework. All right. So just a moment. So what I mean to say is that the first thing is to identify the trend. Like for example, in which way the market is primarily trading. All right. So whether it is moving in upward direction or downward direction, how we define it, the basic price action patterns. Okay. So like if the market is making higher highs and higher lows continuously, then we define it as an uptrend. If market is making lower lows and lower highs, in that sense, we will mark this particular context as a downtrend. And if market is going nowhere and it is staying in the sideways market, then we will call it as a choppy market or a sideways market. So the idea here is that once we identify the trend, all we need to do is to align with that particular trend. For example, if you identify the trend as uptrend, whether either we can look at the breakout of swings and enter into the trade, or we can also look back to the full back opportunities and then also get into the trade. So don't worry, entry and exit triggers. So I will explain it in the Bookmap chart. So first thing is to identify the trend. If it is a sideways, then we know that the buy low sell high strategy is the appropriate strategy for sideways market. So when market approaches to higher level, we look for a shorting opportunity. When market approaches to lower level, then we look for a buying opportunity. All right. So this is what the first step is all about, identifying the primary trend. Okay. So the second step is to identify the locations. In simple sense, it's basically the immediate support and resistances for intraday, basically previous day high, previous day low, and after completion of the 1 hour, even IB high, we call it as an IB range, initial balance range. The first 1 hour high and first 1 hour low is also very critical for the market auction for an intraday perspective, in an intraday perspective. And most importantly, if there are any major support and resistance, we will mark them in the second step. And the third step is where the main core part comes in, how we get in and get out of the trade. All right. So this is exactly the process I'm going to, this is exactly the framework I'm going to deal with today with even Nifty and Bank Nifty. So we're going to follow this entire process. All right. So first let's understand which way the market is primarily trying to move at the present moment when it comes to the price action. Okay. So as we already know that on a broader picture, okay, so if I zoom out the chart, we clearly know that from this stage, all right, market is trying to move in the upward direction in the in a broader picture. All right. So even if you draw the Fibonacci retracement for all this entire trend, okay, so we are somewhere dealing between 0.38 to 0.236. This is the percentage level we're dealing with. So that means for even a short opportunity, even there is a shorter correction, the possibility of market reaching to 18,200 levels is critically is possible. All right. So just a moment. Yeah. So let's look into the short term trend. So basically at the present moment, okay, so as I said, higher and higher lows. So presently market is making a lower lows and lower highs. How I'm saying that, so from this point onwards it started progressing in the lower lows and lower highs process. So in that sense, even if we want to look for a long trade, this is an important information, listen to me carefully. If we want to look for a long opportunity, okay, long trade opportunity, we want last swing to be broken. Okay, so in Nifty, if the price is not breaking this and we are finding a false break or kind of, don't worry, identifying the false break also I will explain how to do it in the Bookmap chart. After formation of the 1 hour chart, if the market is taking a resistance or kind of false break signal at the IB high, then that is also one of the good opportunity for us to look for a short trade opportunity and continue the existing short term downtrend. So in a short term basis, market is moving the downtrend, and on a broader picture, market is making a progress in uptrend. So if we want to look for a long opportunity, then price has to break the previous day high. So previous day high in the sense the last swing high around, let me mark that particular level. So this is where that level is. Okay, so 18,490 somewhere, and here is where we have a immediate support, which is previous day low at somewhere around 18,306, and market is presently making a immediate up move when market approach to the lower level. Okay, so the context is very simple. I would like to repeat again. So basically market on a broader picture making a progress in the upward trend. So in that sense, definitely we have a good opportunity for long opportunity, but we want the last swing high to be taken out. So market has to sustain above this level to look for long opportunities. This point one. If market is sustaining below this level, then we can still look for shorting opportunities, because still on a shorter note, market is presently moving in the downtrend, and we can look for shorting opportunity at IB high. Okay, so after completion of 10-15, we will form a IB high. So once market approaches to that level, we will monitor the price in the Bookmap chart, and then we will take the action accordingly. Okay, so this is about Nifty. Okay, so I hope the context is clear to you. Then let's move on to the Bank Nifty and see what is happening in terms of the Bank Nifty. Okay, well, Bank Nifty has a different view altogether. So as you can see that on a broader note, market is presently moving in the upward trend. Okay, no doubt in that. But if you look in the very short term trend, Even though market, this is an important point, even though market is progressing in the lower lows and lower high format, the interesting pattern over here is that market is presently in bank nifty, especially market is approaching to the level where we saw maximum support condition here, 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 almost 4 to 5 times market approached to this level and we saw the up move. So in that sense, market is presently at this particular level. So in that sense, we can call this as a bracketed market or kind of a sideways market. So for example, let's say this was the range earlier market was trading in, right? So this was the range and presently again it is falling back to the same range. So in terms of the bank nifty, we can deploy the buy low sell high strategy when again market approaches to the higher levels. Okay, so kind of this particular level, then we can look for a shorting opportunities, or even we have a shorting opportunity at the IB high as well. Okay, so for any decisive short movement or for any decisive down movement to happen in bank nifty, it has to break the support level that we are seeing from 28th November. All right, so this level is absolutely critical for bank nifty. So let me mark that level as well. Yeah, so this is one of the major support at the present moment for bank nifty, and this is where we have an immediate resistance, and of course IB high and IB low. That means the first 1 hour high and low is also one of the critical level. If we at all look for a shorting opportunity, we look for immediate opportunities in nifty at IB high. All right, so once this context is clear to you, okay, now the doubt may occur, like we know that primarily in the bigger context market is moving in upward trend. Why can't we directly look for long opportunities? Well, we can also do that, but the risk part, when it comes to the risk part, the risk is very high when we take such trades. Okay, so that's why we want a additional confirmation that if market breaks this level, then we can look for long opportunities in nifty. But when it comes to bank nifty is still much more volatile in terms of the overall sideways market. Even though it's moving in a sideways market, it is a little volatile. So buy low sell high strategy is one of the strategy we can deploy to bank nifty. So it's really interesting to see what happens when price approaches to 45,540 and presently market is taking support at 43,180 level. Okay, so this is a basic context. We have completed 2 steps in our entire framework. I hope this is clear. If you have any particular questions, please make sure to note it, and when I ask a question, so feel free to ask them in the comment section. Okay, so now let's look into the bookmap chart and see what is happening in terms of that. Okay, so I believe that if there are any beginners in your group, so I'll start it from the absolute basic. Okay, so I will disable all the indicator that I have marked over here, and yeah, just a moment. So this is how the bear chart looks like. So this white line is nothing but the VWAP, volume weighted average price. So and we have a cumulative delta in the lower level which looks like RSI, but it is not an RSI, so it's basically the cumulative delta, and we are seeing a bubbles, and in between there are BBO indicator. So what you see over here, okay, so let me just a moment, just give me a moment. Okay, so within this bubble you are seeing a red and green line, right? So that is nothing but the BBO indicator. So best buy, best bid and best offer. Okay, so what I mean to say, if you open a depth, so immediately for a first level you will see the best bid and best offer. So that's exactly the level that we are trying to store here. So the brilliant part of it is that it shows the structure, price structure, or the demand and supply structure within the candle. Okay, so if I enable the candle, so you'll be able to notice it. Just a moment. Yep. So I have enabled a 15-minute candlestick charts over here. So in candlestick, we only be able to see open, close, high and low. But what happened within that? So what happened within this entire framework is what we will be able to see within this particular candlestick by using the BBO indicator. So it's, in simple words, it's a support and demand indicator which shows the structure, support and demand structure within the candlestick. So by that we will be able to identify the price structure without waiting for the confirmation of the candle. That's one of the advantage, and in that sense we can get into the trade on an earlier note, and we can also get out of the trade in a earlier note, so before confirmation of the candle. That's one of the way we can use the, just a moment. Okay, so that's why I'm going to disable the candlestick. So now onwards we are going to concentrate on the BBO indicator, and now you are able to see the bubbles, right? So this green and red bubble, you are able to clearly see that there is some buying activity happening over here and there is some selling activity happening over here. So basically what the software does is, whenever there is an execution, right? So whenever the completed order, so it considers that order and it varies at it divides that particular order whether it is a buying order or a selling order. So at this particular level we are seeing a market sell orders, and this level we are seeing a market buy orders. And second information point is that there is two bubbles. Okay, so here also there is a green bubble, here also there is a green bubble, but there is a size difference. You can clearly differentiate relatively when you compare this particular thing to this one. So even though it is a market buy orders, at this particular price level more number of buy orders got executed comparing to this level. Okay, so this is the second information. Don't worry how to combine this information and how to take a decision, so I will definitely explain that. This is a second important point, that we are able to see what is the internal structure of the candle. That's the point one. And point two, we are also able to spot out the difference between the behavior of the orders, and most importantly, even though there is the same orders, even though that's a market buy orders, we'll be able to see the relative difference between the size of the order. So this is one of the important point. Then there are couple of there are different indicators that are offered by Bookmap. So let me show you that, and after that I'll come back to this. So if you visit bookmap.truedata.in, right now I'm using a pro version, Bookmap India Pro version. In that there are so many add-ons. You can see cumulative volume delta, point of control, VWAP, correlation tracker, absorption indicator, sweep indicator, footprint, instrument copy, break-even point, and price levels, cross BBO. I'm going to utilize different indicators and show you the use case of it today. Okay, so in this, if you go to the configure add-ons, okay, so there are so many add-ons that I have already included. So I'm going to add a few add-ons today to discuss. Absorption indicator and footprint, I will explain it separately. So footprint is also one of the important information that we get when it comes to the order flow. Then we have a price levels. I'll enable this particular point. Then footprint, I will explain it to you later. Then I will enable one more indicator called, if you go to the session voice profile, okay, and sorry, I have forgot to explain. So whatever the information that we are seeing at the right corner is basically nothing but the volume profile information, whatever the volume that are happening in the market. So it is basically considering those volume and showing us the profile in what price level. If you just look at this, you will be able to see that at this price level we have more number of transactions are taking place when it comes to this particular price level. There is a sweep in this particular price level. All right, so this is an immediate difference that we can spot out by using the volume profile, where the maximum number of orders are taking place. So if you right click on session voice volume profile and configure this, you will be able to see there is a option to enable point of control. So in a yellow color line, so right now whatever we are seeing here, the point of control is an enabled point of control from this particular thing. So we will start it from the point of control. Okay, so first thing is that if you notice the difference, okay, point of control is continuously varying comparing to the past levels. Okay, so we will compare it with the past levels of point of control. The major part of point of control is that it shows us the immediate shift in the trend. Okay, so in a simple sense, what is point of control? Point of control is the level where the maximum number of transactions are taking place. Okay, so in this case you can clearly see that after market opened here, okay, from this point there was an immediate shift in the entire point of control. That means more of the number of transactions are taking place at the lower levels. That shows the price acceptance. Price moving in some direction is good, but with a price moving in an acceptance manner. For example, if the price is making a progress in upward direction by also point of control moving upward, that means along with the price, acceptance of the people also increasing. That means clearly it shows a healthy uptrend. All right, so that's exactly what we are presently seeing. So immediately there was a shift, but again there is a shift from this point onwards. And as you can see that point of control is continuously varying. So we can use point of control in two different manners. One is to identify the immediate short-term trend. Okay, so in terms of the BBO indicator where the price is presently heading in terms of this very short term opportunity. And most importantly, we can also use this particular price level as a target for mean reversion trade. Okay, so this is an example use case of it. So assume that you are looking for sell high buy low strategy. Okay, so assume at the present moment you are looking for a shorting opportunity, then point of control can be the target level, because that's where the maximum number of transactions have taken place and that's where the maximum number of acceptance. That's why we are also utilizing this particular level as a target. Or one other case is that we can also use this for buying we will also use this for identifying the immediate trend. This is about the point of control. Then I have enabled a price level indicator. Okay, so this price level, what it simply does is it smartly shows us the 100%, that means the highest level. Okay, if you just compare from today's market. Okay, so for example, from the market open, this is the market high. Okay, so around 18,425 somewhere around. And most important point over here is that from the morning, from this point, the low of the day has not changed. That means market is progressing in an uptrend at the present moment. So this indicates a day high and day low. Okay, so as and when the day high progresses in the upward direction, that means market is continuously breaking the higher levels and making the progress in the uptrend. Okay, so why we can use this particular level? So basically to have an immediate glance on where the maximum level of today is, so where the maximum high of today is, low of today is, so that we can monitor and observe the price when the price approaches to those particular levels. It's nothing but the visualization of the price level. Then comes one more indicator, which is absorption indicator. Okay, so this is a wonderful indicator to look at because it shows us the validating swing points. How? See, for example, let's say market, I said market, if it is making a higher highs and higher lows, the BBO indicator also, if it is making higher highs and higher lows, then it's an indication of an uptrend. But this particular swing point provided by the followed by the absorption, then that's a validation point. So that shows the validated swing. So as you can see, whenever there is an absorption happening, okay, in most of the cases, here it happened and we saw the immediate swing, and here it happened, we saw the immediate swing. So absorption indicator will help us to identify the possible swings in an effective manner so that we can take the effective decisions and identify the pattern in an effective manner. For example, in this case, here is where we have an absorption. If I just connect the absorptions points, okay, so just connect the absorptions points, we'll be able to spot out the market footprint. Okay, so in that we will be able to avoid unnecessary signals like this. Okay, signals of swing highs and swing lows. We can clearly use absorption to identify the swings. Point one. And how this particular indicator is calculated? Basically, the condition goes like this: if within 2.5 seconds, this is the default setting, I haven't changed anything over here. Okay, so if within 2.5 seconds 4,240 quantities got executed, and that is the point we identify that as an absorption. If it is happening like someone is aggressively buying within 2.5 seconds and those orders got consumed within 2.5 seconds, then definitely someone is showing an interest at the opposite level. So that's an importance of it. The main importance is that within a short period of time, so much of quantities got executed. All right, so there are two modes on this: automatic mode. So earlier it was in automatic mode, or you can also do it manually. For example, if I just make it as 5,000 quantities, now I can change it. The software will only identify and shows us the absorption points where the 5,000 quantities got executed within 2.5 seconds. But if I make it automatic, it looks back last 30 minutes and it multiplies it by 5. For example, last 30-minute average transaction quantities or average quantities is 5. 5 multiplied by 5, how much? 25. So that number will be automatically inputted into this particular single. Okay, so this is a dynamic way of using it and most preferred way of using it, so that for every single instrument this will be different. So manually putting this particular number may be a hectic work. So in that sense, definitely automatic mode makes sense. So it looks back to the present day information and take the effective quantity in the input signal. All right, so I hope this is clear. Once this is clear to you, how we can take the decisions, that's exactly the important question now. So how we can combine these informations and take the decisions. Okay, so again, I just want to recall the entire process again. So basically we go by the framework, trend, locations, and then comes the entry and exit. When it comes to an entry and exit, we don't take a random entry and exits. We take an entry, especially entry at a specific defined price levels. Okay, for example, just give me a moment. For example, let's look into the Nifty. Okay, for example, Nifty. Okay, so this is a best location that we're presently dealing with. So this is the IB high. Okay, so IB high is at 18,414. Okay, right now market is taking a resistance. Okay, so if I just look into the 15-minute chart, right now market is taking a resistance. Okay, at IB high. So it is matching with our context. So we were looking for shorting opportunities when price approaches to an IB high and takes the immediate resistance. So once this is clear, we will shift to this chart. Okay, so I will also add the footprint and I will show you how that looks, and after that I will show you how to use that information in order to get confirmation on the false break and breakouts and everything. So there is a footprint chart, so I don't want to plot that in this particular chart. So in that sense, I will copy the instrument. So this is also one of the add-on. You can download it from Bookmap chart. So I'll just enable and create one more add-on of Nifty. Okay, so this is a Nifty add-on, and in this case we by default the footprint chart enabled to this. Okay, so we are now seeing the footprint chart for the Nifty instrument of 15-minute, for every single 15-minute. Right now price is at IB high. Okay, price is at IB high, and we want to look into the information of footprint. So footprint is also nothing but an executed orders, market buy orders and market sell orders. You can clearly spot out the difference, as you can see. Okay, so follow my cursor. It shows two most important information over here. So first thing is that it shows the volume profile of the individual time frame. So at the present moment, as you can see, more number of orders got executed at around this particular price range. Okay, and second important point, it shows us that okay, it has changed. It is dynamically changing right now. It has shifted to this particular price level. First thing is that where the maximum number of transactions have taken place for that particular time period. And second important point, what is the behavior of it, whether it is a market buy orders or market sell orders. So right now we are seeing the maximum number of orders getting placed in this price level. Okay, and if you just look at the behavior of the orders, they are the market buy orders. Okay, as I said, market is approaching an IB high, and we are able to see the market buy orders, more number of market buy orders getting executed just above the IB high. And if okay, so this is a critical point. If the price is, instead of moving upward, okay, so if they are a strong aggressive buy orders, then they should depend the price and price should trade in the above direction. But if price is moving in the opposite direction, then definitely the one who entered aggressively at the market buy orders are getting trapped. So they may be a stop loss buy orders getting executed at this particular price level. So someone may be consuming those market buy orders smartly and trying to move in the downward direction. So that's how we can assume. So just by looking at the footprint chart, we can't take decisions. We also have to include the price behavior after the formation of the footprint charts. Okay, so just give me a moment. Once this is done, the context is clear. Right now we are also able to see there is an absorption, buying absorptions at this particular stage. Okay, so we want a pattern to form now. If we want to look for a shorting opportunities, for example, in this case, how we can look for a shorting opportunities? Present it's moving in the higher high and higher low format. So we want this format to shift like this. For example, in this case, breaking of this particular last swing and again moving up, provided with followed by an absorption, buying absorption. And then again, if there is an absorption falls here, we can look for short at the last swing low. So that is one of the trade setup at the present moment. We can look for a short opportunities, and where we can keep our stop loss, last absorption level is where we can keep our stop loss and keep trailing our stop loss whenever if for example, okay, so this is an example sake. So assume that you have taken a buy entry over here and earlier stop loss was here, and whenever there is a formation of buying absorption, okay, sorry, selling absorption, so we can keep trailing our stop loss to the absorptions levels. So we can use absorption to identify the swings, and also we can use this to trial our stop losses. So I hope this is clear. We can look for shorting opportunities provided with a pattern to form. So we will monitor the pattern to form at Nifty, like lower lows and lower highs format. We can look for short, and we can keep our stop loss to the immediate absorption and keep trailing our stop loss to the last absorptions. All right, this is one of the setup. So how we got the confirmation? So we validated our trade opportunity using the footprint chart. So this is the footprint chart. This is where the maximum number of transactions have taken place. That is exactly above the IV high, and most importantly, they are the market buy orders. If at all, okay, if at all price after this particular stage, if price sustains above this particular level, okay, that invalidates our trade. That means we are presently looking for a shorting opportunities, but we don't want price to sustain above IB high. The more the time market spends above IB high, that's not a good sign for us to look for the short opportunity. That is also one of the condition. But as I said, just a moment. If at all there is a buying opportunity, if at all we want to look for a long opportunity, then at least price has to break this particular level. Until that, we are still good at looking short opportunities. Okay, yeah, this particular session will be saved. Okay, Tapesh, don't worry. So this will be saved, and you can watch this. I think this will be shared with the pro users of Bookmap chat. All right, so I hope the so far information is clear. Let's look into the Bank Nifty as well. But most important point I want to recall again, so we are following a context. So having the right context, having the right framework is absolutely important. Without that, if you take a random decisions, okay, just because you are seeing an absorption, just because you are seeing a more market buying orders, you are taking decisions. No, you have to go by a framework. Framework is absolutely important to take effective decisions and at the same time avoid unnecessary trades. I hope this is clear. Let's look into the Bank Nifty chart. Okay, yes, the absorption indicator, whatever the information that I'm showing, absorption indicator and demand and supply indicator, whatever the information that I'm showing is basically the indicators or tools that are already included in the Bookmap India version. Okay, so right now Bank Nifty is still good and still progressing in the uptrend, and it's most important for us to look at the price action when it approaches to 43,544 level. Until that, what we have to do, we just have to wait for the price to approach to that level. So even not taking any particular trade is also trade, right? So in that sense, we only look for opportunities at a specific locations. That's an importance of the context. So how it looks like in the Bank Nifty chart, so let's check that out. So this is how the overall chart looks like. I have enabled an absorption indicator, and let me add a foot price level indicator. Okay, so which shows us the high and low. So presently it is trading at the high. Okay, so immediate, this is also one of the important point. If you look for a shorting opportunity, if you are looking to short here, okay, this is an hypothetical example, the immediate target would be the point of control, point 1, and we also monitor the price when price approaches to the point of control as well. So this is one of the critical point. So let's look into the Nifty. So we want pattern to be formed, as I said, the break of this swing low and an absorption and then a formation. This particular thing is important. This stage is the entry stage for us to get into the trade. I hope this is clear. Okay, what's your approach? There is a question from Tapesh, who is asking, what's your approach on determining the bias of the day? Well, the bias of the day is basically from the price action point of view. So I think you missed the initial part of the session. So basically we identified it using the price action information over here. Okay, so just a quick recall on that. I have explained in the initial stage itself. The on a broader note, market is moving in the uptrend, but on a shorter note, it is taking a corrective move. Okay, so in that sense, we have both opportunities at the present moment for looking short opportunities and buying opportunities. But most of the desirable moves may comes in the upward direction. But on a shorter note, market is presently taking correcting moves. In that particular sense, we are looking for a shorting opportunity just above the IB high for Nifty. If at all we want to look for a long opportunities, buying opportunities, then we are looking it at after market breaking the 18,490 level, which is nothing but the last swing high. Okay, I hope this is clear. The approach is very simple. We identify the trend using the price patterns and historical price behaviors, and then we identify the locations, desirable locations to get in and get out of the trades, and then we get into the entry and exit using the BBO indicator that I have already showed you in Bookmap chart and other indicators that are offered by Bookmap. I hope that is clear. Let's see what happens with the overall pattern. So, but I hope the entire context is clear to you. If you have any particular questions, feel free to ask it. Any particular question. So, if you want me to show some setting or something, if you have any particular questions on that, feel free to ask. Most welcome, Tapesh. Okay, someone is asking, so it's like demand if price is above. Okay, Simli is asking if it looks like a demand. Well, it's nothing but demand and supply. The immediate depth information we will take out and we will store it historically. The red line that you are seeing here is the best offer, and the green line that you are seeing here is the best bid. It's a BBO indicator, green and red. If it is progressing upwards, that means in market there is a demand. If it is progressing downwards, similar to the price information, the only advantage of this BBO indicator is that it shows the internal structure of the specific interval. That's an advantage point. All right. Okay. So there is a request from Purna who is asking, can you explain sweep indicator? Okay. There is one more indicator called a sweep indicator. Okay. So let me enable that as well and show you the setting in the first place. So basically the sweep is nothing but the condition, as it says, if within 2.5 seconds, okay, so much of orders got executed. Now you may ask, what is the major difference between absorption indicator? It is also the same, right? Well, when it comes to the sweep, just a moment. Well, when it comes to the sweep, there is one major difference, okay? So which is the price levels that we monitor to consider the calculation. So when it comes to the sweeps, we look for minimum 2 price levels. Even though the quantities are same, we are monitoring minimum two levels to be considered when it comes to the calculation of it. Wherein if you just look at the absorption indicator, we are only looking at a specific price level. That's why it is differentiating it as an absorption in this particular stage, since we are monitoring at a specific price level. But when it comes to the sweep means what? An immediate swift in the market, right? Immediate swift over swift movement in the market. So we are considering minimum 2 to 3 price levels in terms of the calculation of the same condition. So in that particular case, market is progressing swiftly, making a progress in one particular direction by major positions. So in that case, sweep indicator identifies the aggressive activity, aggressive buying and aggressive selling activity, wherein the absorption indicator help us to identify the passive activity. So always understand, when there is an execution, when there is a trading, someone is buying, someone is selling. But if someone is placing a market buy order, opposite to him some passive order has to be there. All right. So if maximum number of orders are getting placed on a specific level, and though they are getting placed in some short duration, then we consider it an absorption. If it is happening at a multiple price level, then we consider it as a sweep. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Okay. Markandeya is asking, please show how to activate cumulative volume delta widget. Okay. So if you visit this studies configuration. Okay, so you will be able to see cumulative volume delta information. So if you disable this, you will not be able to see it. If you enable it, you will be able to see it. So this is where you have the information. Okay, and cumulative volume delta, I'll try to explain it in a separate session, and I have already explained in the last session. So if you are already a bookmap user, so you can watch the previous session. So there I have explained about the CVD, so I'll try to cover it in the next week probably. So there are different settings on it. Basically cumulative volume delta will also help us to identify the behavior of the overall movement. Okay, right now market is making a downward momentum. It has already broken this particular level and some absorption, right? So the selling absorption will be the good sign for us to look for a shorting opportunity. If that happens, and if market makes an immediate swift movement in the upward direction, the break of the last swing low can be the entry trigger for us. The immediate target will be the point of control, but it is always suggested to keep trailing our stop loss to the last absorption. So that way we will try to encash maximum benefit from the trend. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Thank you, Purna. Any particular questions? Feel free to ask any questions. See, it may look silly question, so there are no silly questions. So there can only be the silly answers. So try to be open and try to ask any particular questions. If you have any particular questions, you can ask. So I'll be happy to answer it. Okay, just a moment. So let me recall what and all we have discussed. So basically, we go by the process. As I said, trend, identifying the trend in terms of the price behavior is very important. So we try to align with the trend. That is point one. Point two. Okay, so I forgot to inform this. When we can use the sweeps indicator is when you don't see most of the information. So sometimes we see the absorption, sometimes we see the sweeps. So even though absorption is missing, so sometimes we'll be able to see the sweeps. So you can use both the indicators to identify the same behavior. Okay, so first thing is to identify in terms of the overall framework, we identified the entire trend in the first place and we try to align with the trend. And second step is to identify the locations, desirable locations to get in and get out of the trades. And third thing is to, identify the entry and exit opportunities according to the framework, according to the existing trend. And we try to anticipate, or we try to participate, or we try to observe the pattern formation even in the BBO indicator. Based on that, we will take the effective decisions. So how we can do that? Just an example purpose. Assume that you are looking to buying opportunity. At the present moment, we are looking for a shorting opportunity at high B high. If you are looking at buying opportunity at some support level, if the BBO indicator approaches this particular level and we see the absorption over here, and after that there is a swift up movement, and after that there is a short up move, but a short down move, but it is not reaching the last low, and again it is breaking the last swing high. This can be the desirable pattern for us to look for to get into the long trade if you are looking for a long opportunity. For example, in another case, if you are looking for a break of this particular resistance, assume that this is a resistance and you are looking for a breakout of this particular level, and then look for long opportunities. That's a same buying opportunity, but it's a breakout buying opportunity. Two way you can enter. One is to aggressively enter when market breaks out the resistance. That's one of the way. And another way that most conservative traders looks in. So that's my favorite way as well. So once it breaks this particular level, and again it gives a short down movement by creating by having an absorption over here, then the break of this last absorption can be the better way of participating the long trade even in the breakout trade. The advantage of it is that we don't look for candle information, we don't look for candle confirmation, and that's where we will be saving a lot of time, and also we will be getting into the pattern much earlier when comparing to the candlestick. I hope this is clear. All right, so any particular questions? Okay, so if you want to look at the footprint chart setting, so let me show you that as well. If you just visit the footprint chart, so right now I'm looking into the time interval chart. Okay, so you can use the different way to calculate it, but time interval is the most effective way to look at it, because some trader will look at 5-minute information, some will look at 15 minutes, some will 30 minutes. So ideally, in my case, I look for 15-minute information, so 15-minute candlestick. Obviously I will look for what is happening within that. To look at what is happening within that 15-minute candlestick chart, I will look at the time interval of 15 minutes. Bar width is nothing but the visual appearance part. You can change this according to your need. And yeah, mark and yeah, tick size, right? So I will explain that. And horizontal smart scaling, everything, that's a default setting. I haven't changed anything. The only thing that I have changed is background type. I have made it as a histogram delta plus and minus, since I want to look at the buying and selling differences. In that sense, I have marked it as histogram delta plus and minus. Positive color, negative color, it's nothing but the color differentiation. And shades will help us to identify the intensity of the orders, right? So for example, in this case, you can see the dark red, right? So dark red, wherein this particular thing is a light red. So that shows in this particular stage, the maximum number of sell orders have taken place in this particular price level. So that's the use case of shades. And transparency factor, you can change this according to your needs. So it's nothing but the visual appearance. And footprint types, so calculation wise, there are different ways you can calculate. So I want to see what is the selling orders, that sell orders that got executed, buy orders that got executed. That's why I have marked it as B into sell. If you just add it as sum, so it will summate everything and it will show the entire number of transactions that happened at a specific level. It shows horizontal delta is nothing but the delta comparison. So what is the delta when it comes to the delta? For example, in this case, this is where 8600 buying orders got executed. So it will only shows the delta information, total summation of the delta information, and diagonal delta. So it's nothing but what is the, it's a comparison of the overall order flow information. So I'll keep it as buy into sell or summation. So buy into sell will help us to identify what is the maximum number of orders are taking place, and most importantly, how much number of orders got executed. In that information we'll get from here. And most important setting is the tick multiplier. Okay, so before we shift to the tick multiplier, you need to make sure whenever you are adding a symbol, right, any symbol that you add over here, for example TrueData, it will ask for the tick size before you even subscribe. So it will ask for a tick size. If you want to access the footprint chart effectively, so it is recommended to go with a 1 as a tick size, right? In this chart I'm using a 1 as a tick size. If you are keeping your tick size as 1, then if you multiplying it by 3, so then it will consider 3 multiplied by 1 as the tick, so total 3. That means the footprint will be calculated for every 3 range of the market, every 3-point range of the market. 18,000, assume that this is the 18k level, and 18,003 level. When market reaches to 18,003 level, that's 3 point, right? So the order flow information will be calculated for that entire 3 range. All right. So for Nifty, I'm using 3. Okay, since it looks visually appealing, so that's why I have keep it as 3. For Bank Nifty, just double up the Nifty. Okay, 3 multiplied by 2, so 6 is the tick multiplier that I'm keeping for Bank Nifty. I hope this is clear. If you have any particular questions, feel free to ask. I think I covered all the questions. Just give me a moment. Just a moment. Well, any specific questions, feel free to ask. Okay, where we will get instrument copy. Okay, so I will show you that. If you visit bookmap.com, Okay, so once you visit this, you'll be able to see more add-ons. Okay, so more and add-ons, go to the add-ons in the marketplace section. So you'll be able to see the different add-ons over here. Just a moment. Just give me a moment. Okay, sorry. More. Okay, and go to the knowledge base. Just a moment. Go to the add-ons. Yeah. So once you visit the bookmap, okay, go to the more and knowledge base. Once you visit the knowledge base, you will be able to see the information of the indicators and go to the add-ons here. Okay, go to add-ons, and at the right and the left side, okay, these are the add-ons, different add-ons that you can try with bookmap.com. So you can subscribe to the bookmap TrueData bookmap TrueData subscription of the Indian version, and then you will be able to access this. Okay, for example, if you need a absorption indicator, go to the absorption indicator, and there is an explanation on it. So in that, you have to download it. So download the absorption indicator using this particular link. Once you download that file, you simply have to go to the configure add-ons and then add. These are the indicators that I have downloaded. You can simply click on it and import it to the software, and then you will be able to see it in the left corner of it, and simply enable this. You will be able to see it, provided that you have the pro subscription. I hope that is clear. All the indicators can be downloaded here. Okay, so just a moment. All these indicators can be downloaded here. Okay, and yeah, instrument copy here is there, the instrument copies. Okay, you can simply download it and create multiple copies in whichever the way you want. So the intention of creating a multiple instrument copy is that it will help you to monitor the different information of the same script. So that's the use case of it. Any particular questions on today's discussion? Just a moment. So whenever you see this, right, so whenever you look for shorting at IB high level, then immediately the IB low can be the immediate target actually. So we call it as a neutral day. We call it as a neutral day in the concept of market profile. So basically that's also one of the tool to help us to get the context. So IB low can be a better target for any shorting opportunity at the IB high. Any particular questions? Check out Bank Nifty. Okay. I think even if you just look at the 30-minute chart of footprint, even in 30-minute also we are able to see lot of aggressive buy orders at this particular price level. Around 19,750 quantities got executed within this particular price range, and most importantly price is started trading at the lower level. So for an immediate stance also in terms of 30-minute chart, until unless price sustains below this particular price level, that's a good sign for us, considering that we are looking for a shorting opportunity. Okay, so well, that's it from my end. If you have any particular questions, I'll be happy to take them. Let's also add Bank Nifty instrument copy. Okay, Purna is asking, can you show one chart of any stock? Okay, let's take TrueData and Reliance. And yeah, just a moment. So with the same package, you will be able to look at, you will be able to access MCX, NSE, equity futures data, CDS data, everything. So in the same package. So let me keep it as 60 hours and tick size as, I'll keep it as 0.5 for tick size for this. So it takes time to load. So volume dots, I have disabled it, but now it has enabled volume dots and other information. You can do it accordingly. So add-ons, footprint instrument, absorption copy. So I'm going to keep it as automatic mode and make it as 5. So we'll be able to see it. So give us 5 or 10 minutes of time. So we will be able to see the historical data of it. Okay. Now starting making a progress when Nifty as well. So we're able to see an absorptions over here. Let's see what happens. Okay, any other questions I left out? Cool. So well, This is it from my end, guys. Thank you so much for your wonderful time. Keep attending all the sessions because every week we are going to learn different things with the dynamics of the market. So definitely it is essential to attend all the sessions. Keep attending the sessions. I hope today's session added value to you. Thank you so much for your wonderful time. See you in the next session. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Jai Hind.